Hello, it's Dominique. So I want to show you how I did how I applied my the layout that we have with the bedroom of the little boy. So remember I had made this little kind of a hinge. I've traced like I would say 1/8 of an inch kind of gusset, because when this opens it wanted to kind of catch, so I made it so that it can fold. I don't know if you can see, it's folding, so it folds here, so it goes flat, and then it just goes like this, and then I can go back there. So when I open it like this, it just goes like this, so it's flat. Otherwise it was just curving the page. This is the base page that I've made. By the way, I'm gonna measure and tell you how much they are. Like this is 6 1/4 by 8 inches. That's going to be the pages of our album. Okay, now I've decided that these are photo mats. So I've matted all the outside of this, the one that we've matted with the pattern paper. So I put blue paper, and then I put the red, so they can put a photo or a couple photos, whatever. Maybe I'll add some stickers and duck spots, I don't know, but I don't want to add too much because it's already pretty thick, as you can see, because my base page was thick, and also the Carta cardstock is really thick, so you don't want to overdo it. So so I'm gonna do something here later at the end. So I decided that to close this, to have this stay closed, I'm making a box. So what I did is I measured what I had here, and I put my paper here, and I put a mark here with my pencil, just like a little tad after the line here, the same here, and I added like a little, about a quarter of an inch, a little bit less than a quarter of an inch for the gusset, and then another quarter inch to glue underneath. And I did the same. I put my sheet here because this is going to be opening, even though the box is going to be there, it's going to be opening, so it has to go like just a little bit under the box. I mean under the the page here that opens. So I traced where I wanted to have it, so that I leave a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch on the lower portion of the page, so that my box arrives here. I want to see a little bit of the green here. So and then I did the same. So I added like a quarter an inch and another quarter inch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just taper these just a little bit from the first line, including the whole gusset. Here I removed the corner because I had traced my lines like this all the way there. So I removed just the corners all the way to the end of the first line, from the inner line on the corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold it like here, fold it here, and this paper here is textured. I don't know if you can see. And this one, when you fold really hard, it breaks, it cracks. So I'm not going to fold that hard because I don't want it to, I just needed like 90 degrees fold here. So I'm not going to do that on purpose because I don't need to. So I'm going to do the same here and this one here. And now I'm going to glue that in. And the way to do that, because we're going to put a card, so I used this paper, which I thought was really matching here, and so many toys, so little time. I took this cut apart. So I want this to be put in the box so that it keeps the whole page closed. So what I did is Andre? Sorry. So because we're going to put a card in there, when you have a box that you're making, you have to have the side edges like this, and then you can just wrap that on top. Because when you're going to put the card, you want it to slide in. If you put that inside like this, you're going to slide it, it's going to catch here and won't go all the way down. So always have your side flaps tucked first, then you glue the other one on top. And I'm going to taper this here because I don't want it to show. So I put a tiny bit of glue just on the corner here. And this one here you have to hold quite some time. That's the thing that I don't like when I'm making videos, because I don't want to take too much time. So you can fast forward because I don't have any way for fast forwarding my video, so I'm gonna hold this for a few minutes. So just fast forward this part here. I'll be back. Trying to find a way to have this to glue on. It takes a while for it to set, and it has to be the proper, like really 90 degrees here. So I'm going to hold this a little bit here. I know that it's square, so that it sets. Because the paper is stiff, it wants to come back. So I'm just going to fold a little bit here more to hold this one here. And I'm going to hold this one here. That's the way you have to do it. See, after you hold it a few seconds, it stays. Hold it a little bit more. So we're going to apply this right there. So you have to make sure that your box is a little bit underneath your pages that open, so that they're free to open. They're not blocked by the box. So here we're good. And also I wanted to add a little something, but I'm going to do that after. Like I want to add this here. And then also I'm going to add some stickers or something like that. So now what you got to do is put your glue here, here, and here. Now this is another thing that needs to be held for a while. So it has to be just so that it's going like this without catching to the book. So that's the technique of a box that is going to hold everything closed. And then what I'm going to do after I do that is that I'm going to mat the inside here with something so it's going to hide. So I didn't really need to tape or anything. It's going to hide the I call that the seams. That's where we apply the part that's glued onto the page. Now I don't have any access here, so I have to open this. This is not easy. Just do this like that. Now I need to have the thing is that I don't have my ruler, so when I need it, I don't have it, and that's not fun. So I'm going to try and go like this. I was giving a class yesterday and I forgot it, the class. But when you put the wet glue, if you are having a hard time everything to set, just wait a few seconds, like I would say 30 seconds, and then the glue starts to set. Then you can glue it on. Then it's going to set really quickly and everything's going to stay there. You have to make sure that this part here down there, the flap underneath, is really glued properly, because when you put your card, it's going to catch if it's not glued properly. Unless when you mat this, you mat it all the way down, which you can do that. So now I have this in my card. This is a card I mounted here. It just goes here. And now it might be loose, but once you have all the pages, like all the photos added here, it's going to add up and it's going to be not as loose. So you see, I could have made a little bit loose, smaller here, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, now I have another technique I want to show you. So this is the other page. So here I made a file. I decided that this is one of the sticker from the sticker sheet. I decided to make a file, have that little box here as a tuck spot. It's going to be glued on the base here, and inside the file will be the stickers, some stickers from the toys that I'll be fussy cutting. Well, I'm going to mount them on little cards, and all the little cards will go there. So as if this envelope or this file was the toy box. So I'm going to put it this way. Usually when I make a file, first of all I'm going to show you how to make the file. So you take envelopes the size that you want. This one was twice as big, so just cut in half. And then you align them right. Usually I want to see all the pieces of that have been folded on the envelope on the same side, because when you apply the envelope on the page and then you look inside it, you don't want to see all the seams here of the envelope. So that's why I want to see this on the front, and usually I'm at it and we don't see this, and we don't see anything in here. It's like smooth. Here I'm having this, and I think maybe I went a little lower, but I think if I glue it, it's going to be good. Because I was going to go like on the other side, but I really don't want to see the seams inside. So I think I'm going to go a little bit like this and make sure that all the corners are well glued. So I punched the circle in the center. So I marked my center here, and I punched here. I don't know if you can see my punch here. I've traced like a center line on the top, and then 2 lines here, and then 2 lines here. It's kind of a guide so that I know when I go to punch something, I can, if I have a mark, I can center the upper mark, center mark there, and then I decide if I want the first mark or the second mark, how deep I want my punch or my half circle punched. So I suggest when you have those punches, you can just mark where you would go for your punches, a little guide. So what I did, I had my 4 envelopes, I punched them. So what you do is you put the glue like here and here, here. It's important that you don't put the glue all the way to the sides, because then if it's glued all the way, everything will be stiff and you won't have access to anything. So if you glue it here, like I would say, depending on the size of the size of your envelope, I would say from 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, so that when you open it, it's expandable like this, like you have accordion. And then you do this down there so that they all glue together. And here on the side, of course, all along, I make sure I don't put too much glue on this one, because if it smears, and then it's going to glue the pages, the envelopes together, so that's not good. And I just put a little bit here, but you don't really need to put some. It's just to make them stiffer, to stiffen them up. That's what I like to do. So I've done that. Now this is my front. I've cut this mat here. It's going to go there. So I'm going to glue that right now. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the other side. Because before, when I was making my files, because I've been making files like pretty much every single album I've made for the last 3 years, 3.5 years. So what I suggest is that now, before I used to glue the same here on the page so that the last page will expand as well. So if it's glued here, it will expand. Sometimes when I was starting, I forgot and I put the glue all the way to the edges, so the last envelope did not expand. It was stiff. But now I found another best way for that. Now instead of just gluing that there, well, in our case it's going to be here, I'm going to make some hinges. So I have this one here. Not all the way to the edge, because you want to not see it, okay? And then you have this here. Oh, I went a little bit too much on this side. Like, you still want to have it expand. So you do the same, but you just glue those little strips. I took like 3/4 inch, or it can be 1/2 inch, doesn't matter. And this one's going to go down there, so maybe it's a little bit too long, so I'm just going to cut whatever I have too much. And I'm going to do the same. And I put it here. It can be all the way down. Maybe I need to move it a little bit more. So it can be all the way down here. So now what we get is that we're going to fold those. And again, I'm going to fold the side ones first, because this is going to be a pocket. And if I want whatever I'm going to put in it to go in like this, if it's wide, you want it to slide in. Even this part here should have been put on top. Let's do this. There, that's even better. Now this is going to go here on top. It's not really reaching, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that. This is the other side of my page. I decided to put this paper here, and I've left like I would say 1/16 of an inch all around 3. So I'm going to do that on here. So this is the matting of the page. So this is going to be going right here. So I'm going to glue that here. Put some glue here. Sorry, maybe I'm out of frame. So this is going to be forming a pocket. And I'm going to put it right here so I have some room. I can see some of the pattern here, and I'm going to add something up there. So this is it. So now we have a file. And then later on we can have something that goes in there in the back. We'll make a little booklet that goes in the back. You see, now it can go. I used to glue the whole thing, so I had no access to put anything, but now this way I have large pocket. And you have to make sure that it's not smearing, so you can check with a card or something to see if it's still good. It's not glued on yet, so I'm going to work with this thing first. So I have matted this sticker here. This is going to be going right here, but I think I'm going to add, maybe I'll add something after. I'm just going to do that right now. So I want this to be centered, and this is the way it is for it to be, the perspective to be right. So pretty much there. And so this is a toy box. I'm going to mat all the little toys, stickers. And this one here says, pick up your toys. Put them in the toy box. So that was my purpose of doing this. So that's what it is. So now you know how to make this. And that's it for right now. And I am going to, I wanted to do this, to think of other interactions for the book, and then I will be back to you with another tutorial so you can learn some techniques. It could be any paper collection you're using. It's just that I'm showing you how to create according to what you have there on your paper collection, all the design you have. So until next time, bye bye, see you. Thank you for watching.